Barely for me.
This is a sample notice. It will be on yellow paper exactly as you see here. And this is,
I see one.
oh, sorry about that.
Okay. I have an old one. I don't know if it's.
So this is what you will see on the notice. It has the appeal online, the appeal by phone. It has when the new notices will be mailed, a change of value if we change anything. The county board will then meet afterwards. Also on the back is very important.
I want you to read the back, please, read the back.
Please read the back.
And see if you all think that helps explain it. If not, they're gonna be mailed, it wouldn't matter. At least we'll know what we make it.
That is what's being mailed.
And presumably veteran property owners know this stuff anyway, correct?
I think reappraisal
Right.
always.
Yeah, anybody's got one before, right? Yeah.
You should, but, it happens up until now, it's so infrequent, sometimes people forget going forward, it's a 2-year cycle, so it will become more ingrained. But we also wanted to go over this because the increase in values is at a point to where it's gonna make people,
It's gonna be bigger,
it's gonna be bigger.
significant.
And so we want to try to get out, that means the rate has to come down. And so the more we can get that out there, we think that is helpful.
So is this accurate that the certified tax rate's gonna be 96 cents?
Not,
Okay.
it's going to be somewhere between probably 96 and $1.04, just depending on how appeals go and things like that. Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
Okay, so we don't really know till after the appeal process.
That's correct.
So we won't know till after the Board of Zoning Appeals.
You won't know the exact number until after.
Okay.
That's an
Based
estimate.
on how things have gone up, that would be an accurate number overall.
Right.
Today,
Right.
that's not tomorrow.
The county commission will adopt the rate in August.
Yes.
You want me to go ahead and get started?
You all ready for the PowerPoint?
I am.
One quick question though, Chris. That county commission can opt not to go with the certified rate. Is that correct? They got to vote twice.
Just once, because what they would do, and if you all stop me if I'm wrong, commission has to say what the certified tax rate is. So what the
Right.
comptroller's office makes you do, and some counties or cities have done this across the state. You gotta say, the certified rate is X, but we choose to take that rate to, let's assume for a second that the rate is 96 cents. If commission says, I'm gonna take that rate to $1 or down to 92 cents, go either way, they can do that, but they have to call it what it is. It's either a tax increase or a tax decrease based off what the certified rate is. So what they make you do is to acknowledge the certified tax rate. And then if you're going to deviate from that certified tax rate, you've got to be very specific in what you do.
Can the county commission stay at 155.4?
I think commission, once they get that certified tax rate, they can they can adopt a certified rate of whatever they want, as long as they're saying the certified rate is X, we're choosing to do Y as an example. So
Thanks.
there's not a limit, right? Some counties in the past have done that, right? So they would say certified tax rate was $2. Now certified tax rate is $1.90, but we're going to stay at $2. So they've done that in the past. Never here.
Right,
Okay,
right.
But some places have done that. So you can do it, but you've got to call it what it is. And
Okay.
so the comptroller is very specific in how you would handle that.
So the public will know what the certified rate is, and they will know if commission decides to go higher or lower.
Right.
That is correct.
And we will tell them that too.
twice.
One vote.
They don't have to adopt the
Oh, I
certified
thought-
tax rate.
yeah, I thought it had to be
and
two
then
votes.
vote, and then vote a tax increase.
Correct. What you're thinking about, Brian, is the city votes twice on their budget, the commission only votes once.
Okay.
So, and you set the tax rate just by one vote too. And let me say this too. There will be a budget approved by county commission for FY 27 that is done before reappraisal. And so
Will be based on known
it'll
revenue.
be known rate and known revenues. It will be based on the 155 rate.
No.
Anything else before we start the PowerPoint, and then we'll answer more
So the
questions?
certified rate don't go into effect July 1 of 26?
They view it more on the property tax cycle.
Okay.
So they will adopt it, let's say, in August, and it's for the tax roll.
Okay.
So that would adjust the tax roll, which goes out October 1.
Right.
And so they view it more on the tax roll cycle more than the fiscal year.
Okay.
You ready, Phil? I'll get out of the way. Now, I think as we go through these slides, if you want to ask questions, feel free to stop us, I'm sure.
Chris and I talked about this because there's a lot of excitement usually when the notices go out. And we've made this really simple, hoping that we'd have a lot of questions today. Specifically aimed sort of at the example on the back of the notice there. Go ahead, Casey. And reappraisal, this is the goal of it. The goal of reappraisal is adjust property to its market value. Knox County market value increased by approximately 60%. As a result of the market value changes, the certified tax rate will adjust the current tax rate to achieve neutral revenue from the previous year.
Can I say that just real quick, Phil? And I think that first bullet point's very important. What gets lost sometimes is, I think the citizens think the county increases their revenue from reappraisal. Excuse me. But that's not what happens. So we are revenue neutral when reappraisal happens. And so basically, the goal of reappraisal is to adjust the market value. It's not the county or the city earning revenue. We are neutral when that happens.
Phil, the 60% over a year, 2 years?
Over 1 year.
1 year.
No, but it's over 4 years.
Well, 4 year cycle.
4 years.
Yes, from 2022.
Would you mind moving a
Oh, I can
little?
do-
Sorry, or I can move if it's
No,
easier
sorry.
for you. I can-
Whichever way, I'll move. Yeah, it's over a 4 year cycle.
So basically, the shorthand way to put it, property values have gone up 60% over the past 4 years.
That's correct.
Okay.
We're looking at sales over the last year, but yes. that's
Right.
Okay. This right here, value increases. So what we try to do is take the value. I believe this is the value on the notice. Is that right? The 400?
640, yeah, it was
We
400.
changed this right before we come in here. so-
It was 400.
Okay, so previous value, 2025, you can see what you would pay out of your pocket, 1554. If it went up an increase of 40%, which is what it was the last cycle, it's 1344, but this would be the actual, what that you would pay. So you would see your money out of your pockets went down. This right here is basically the revenue neutral. It's 1536, there's fractional in there. So if it went up to from 400,000 to 640, you're paying the same amount of tax, just a few dollars difference. Now, if it went up 80%, then you're only gonna pay to 720,000, 1728. So how will it impact the majority of the people? Well, any reappraisal cycle anywhere in the state, 50% is gonna go up and 50% is gonna come down. There's a band of about 2% in the middle that there's gonna be no change. So for a good portion of the people, any questions on this slide here? This is really what we try to illustrate. The problem why people get excited, and this is just they don't know what the tax rate's gonna be, what the county commission is gonna set the tax rate. So they really won't know. So when they see this number, they're thinking their money out of their pocket's going up a tremendous amount, even if they see this number, which is gonna stay neutral. So the excitement is, they don't get their tax bill till in October. So, and this is where a lot of the problems come, you know, that are generated, the excitement out there. Now, part of the reason we asked you to maybe hold your story till Thursday is we've sort of practiced. We've got 14 phone lines that we're gonna be handling the people that call in, 14, right? And that may not be enough. You know, I came in and we handled 17,000 appeals in 2009, county appeals, and about 4,000 state appeals, for a total of 22,000. That pretty well matched the big four at that time. So we've lived through this. A lot of the people on our team have been through that. So we've practiced, we've got questions, we've practiced what you may be asked, what the answers may be, because, you know, we've got different people out in the field, different talent levels. So, but we're pretty well prepared for it. And like I said, a lot of people be calling in arguing, not necessarily arguing. They won't, you know, you get a notice of $240,000 difference. It'd be easy to assume you're gonna get a whole lot of tax increase. So, so we understand that, but we hope we're gonna be able to deal with that, and we have in the past. Let's see what the next slide is here. Any questions on that prior slide? Reappraisal values are equal to market value. So that's what we're trying to do. Equalization process, anytime you take your base year, the farther you go away, then the more the discrepancy are, the more the errors are. And a guy that's at CTAST, he was 10 years down in Florida, one of the larger cities down there, and they're every year, they have a reappraisal every year. And they maybe, he said, had 100 appeals. So the more frequent the reappraisals are, the more near the market value. So what we're trying to do is set it back to 100%. So we hope the market value is the current value of your home today in 26. But remember, when you sell a home today, or you sold it a month ago, the values may be up. So it's a fluid situation. So we're trying to capture it at a moment in time. Remember, on a 4-year reappraisal, we may look at it on the first year. So that's how come we collect all this data from so many sources, but at the end of it, you know, our team in the field, there's the instrumental people, they get the data for us. But then we got to put it into a computer program and work with the state that it hits certain parameters. And just like a weighted means, we got to hit between 0.095 and 1.043.
1.005.
005. So it's analytical, and these numbers, they tell us how close we are. There are 3,000 neighborhoods in Knox County. 3,000, all of them has their own cost factors. So when our guys put it in the file during the year, or during the 4 years, at the end of it, then it's buckled against the computer analysis, and we come up with certain numerical analogies with the state oversight that tells us how close we are. So we work with them. This year, a lot of the counties like us, we've taken extra time to do it. Sevier County is going to send out notices, we think, last time we talked, tomorrow, or Wednesday. Roane County, I don't believe. Knox County, 60% is sort of modest as some of the other counties. Loudon, I believe, is in the 70 range. Sevier, we don't want to give out too much information. 85. Anderson's in that range. So the 60% is sort of modest, but we've had a lot of growth. You know, the more numbers you got, then the better off that you are.
Pardon me, clarification, that's both commercial and residential?
Yes.
All property?
Yes.
That's taxable?
Yes. So the amount that's going out on the residential side will be about 187,000 notices.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Now, 2 years ago, County Commission voted to change the reappraisal every 2 years. So y'all are gonna do this again in 28?
yes.
Okay,
So we're already into the second quarter of that.
okay.
So even though reappraisal is taking a lot of our time, we still got permits and stuff that we've got to run and that we're looking at currently. Questions? I'm sorry, I'll have.
No, no,
right back in
you're all
your
good,
place.
you're good.
Moving forward, we just thought we'd drop a note in here. Why 2-year reappraisal improved assessments eliminates the need for the sales ratio. That's, you know, Chris and them, they announced this year, that was about a $9 million deduction, put a hiring freeze on. So by going to a 2-year, then that's eliminated that. To give you some example, over the last 2 reappraisal cycles, that's probably a loss of in excess of $43 million. So it's a lot of money. Ryan works for the trustee there. It takes away from the seniors and it takes away from the veterans. So that's applied to which was around 30%. Ensures property values reflect the current market conditions. Everybody wants that. You want your house. People, as you mentioned, won't know that the new values is bumped against the 2022. Improves the accuracy of the assessments. It's not so far away from the starting point. Minimizes large sudden value changes. Adjustments become more gradual and predictable for the property owners. Allows fairness in how taxes are distributed.
So what you're saying, the fourth bullet point there is this year, you're talking about 60% over 4 years. The next reappraisal will be whatever percent over 2 years.
That's right.
So that should
Right.
take care of the.
Yeah, so there's a lot, this time we're already in 9, this is start of 10 up cycles in real estate. So, you know, as long as you got the up cycle, it's gonna go up, but you're gonna capture it in 2 years, not 4, so it'll
Right.
be less of the up cycle.
So for the property owner, they might get sticker shock this year, but they shouldn't 2 years from now.
Shouldn't be as much, that's correct, depending on the market.
Could you elaborate on how it allows fairness and how taxes are distributed? Sounds like.
Well, because you get more near the value of your home, and your home is taxed on the value of your home. So in property tax is most predictable versus sales tax and fees from the offices. I think from some of the courses and stuff you take, that property tax used to be reviewed as regressive, now it's progressive, and that it's the most reliable that you can base your budget on.
I would say too, on the fairness thing, a lot, not us, but some cities and counties, when you're doing a 3, 4, 5, or 6 year cycle, and you have that sales ratio when it kicks in, like it did for us, and you lower it 30%, so that was, you know, a loss of $9 million for us. If you were to raise taxes, then you're raising taxes on residential to offset your loss on commercial. So fairness can also be looked at in
But
terms
objective.
of residential and commercial.
And that thought is not unique just to Knox County, but there's a lot of counties going in from a 5-year to a 3-year cycle. So they're reducing it all across the state. Any other question? Good question. Increased valuations during reappraisal does not always result in higher individual taxes. You can take anything from here and help us, that would be it.
Well, there's a difference between the rate and the bill,
That's right.
so.
A lot of the things that we talk about, assessments, appraisals, tax, and
Yeah.
evaluations, it's all sort of together unless you know how to use it correctly. Moving from a 4-year to a 2-year distribution distributes the tax burden fairly. Each reappraisal will lead to a new certified tax rate. Question?
Will you send out the presentation?
I didn't hear.
Will you send out the presentation afterwards?
The PowerPoint?
Yeah.
We can. Yeah. Keywords, market values. So the first step is we have to, come up with the new market values for your homes. Equalization. By doing that, we want to equalize. We want to bring it back from the distance from the base year 2022 to the current year. When we do that, then we're able to establish the certified tax rate. And then the county is revenue neutral from that. You may ask, how does the county grow? Well, you got new growth out there, so in between years, so you have your new growth. People often ask, who's looked over this? Well, I got to say, you got a well-seasoned team here if you look at that. I know that's over 300 years of experience. So. Somebody said that we're doing geriatrics, I guess we are. But I think you want seasoned, experienced people when you talk about a county this large. The state assists a lot of the other counties. So, you know, the big four, big six sort of stand on their own. So, any questions?
Comptroller's office had said that they ended up helping you all this year to make some improvements or made suggestions to make things better. What are they talking about?
They suggest that with all counties every year. You gotta work with it every year. There's a baseline on all these numbers that we talk about. And so it's gotta match up in every county. They just happen to do it within the other 80 counties, but yes, they helped us as you're going to start, but nothing any more out of the ordinary. We still have to come up with the right number, fractional number to do that. So you send down the sales package, is what they call it, and it's qualified sales. And when you send it down, they look at vertical and horizontal equity. So they're checking the stats versus the field. So whenever that meets, then that's what it is. We're a little bit unique this time in that the first 2 years is data that was by the prior administration. Usually you come into in September and then it goes out the following April. So we come in checking, you know, so we didn't have the preset numbers from entirely, you won't say our team, but it would be the same team. So
When you look at the previous slide on market value, we've analyzed right at 13,000 transactions in 2025 that are warranty deeds, and about 9,000 to 10,000 of those are actually good, acceptable sales, and so that's where the values come from. All of those sales.
you might wonder what the difference between acceptable and not could be: estate, family to family,
Yeah.
LLC to another LLC, they split out. So acceptable sales has to be an arm's length transaction.
We've heard some confusion by people why the letters hadn't come out sooner and why they're coming out now.
We looked at it a little bit longer, just like Severe and Loudon, we wanted to look at it a little bit longer. And then the state is they're held to it. Maybe a little stricter there, but they're being looked at all across the state, you know, in the fairness and the numbers and the counties that's being generated.
Is there an average, I'm asking because I'm ignorant, is there an average number of appeals you'll get, like, as a result of something like this?
We're doing that real estate back in '09, it was 17,000.
Of course, that was an
So-
extraordinary time.
Right, so, but the growth here in Knox County has been a lot. And people ask for predictions on that. My prediction is around 8,000.
Which will
And
be
that's
coming,
based on some of the other counties and stuff that we're seeing.
and that'll start coming out presumably after folks get the letters.
Yes.
And there's a window for that, is that right, in terms of dealing with the appeals process, like of time?
Well, the informal process, we've set aside 10 days. Since this is not a traditional, we're changing a little bit. Jim, we just talked about that before we got up here.
Yeah.
It's on the back of this letter here.
We do, yes, on the back of the letter, well, actually on the front, it talks about online appeals. And we're
I think that's what
recommending-
he's asking, what's the appeal process this year?
Well, we're recommending that they do the online appeal, which you see how to do that, or you can call in on one of these three numbers. That's what Bill was talking about. We have 14 appraisers, 14 people answering the line every day for 2 weeks. And then after this is over with, you will get a new notice, or the taxpayer will get a new notice by June 17th, a new appraisal notice. And if they still are dissatisfied or still have more questions, then they can appeal to the county board, which will start meeting